guys, welcome to the vlog. We are currently 19 and a half weeks out from the UFE World Pro Championships, and I've actually just arrived at my naturopath. So I'm meeting with my naturopath to get her feedback on what she thought of that blood work that I showed you guys in last week's episode. So we're just checking, making sure my hormones are fine, my vitamins are fine. So I'm going to let you know what she has to say when we head in there. I don't know if she's going to let me film what she says, but I am going to ask her and see if we can get it on film, simply because I know that that would provide a lot of value for you guys to get a better understanding of what's going on hormonally when we get to such low levels of body fat percentage. So let's do it. Alright guys, so just got out of my appointment and wanted to quickly talk to you about what the naturopath had to tell me. Okay, so all the blood work that I received, you guys saw last week, it pretty much indicated that I have no hormones. Like, literally the levels are so low. Testosterone's really low, estrogen's really low, progesterone's really low, vitamin D's really low, which is also considered a hormone. But yeah, so they are all incredibly low. Essentially, her recommendation is that I don't compete if we want to have a baby really quickly thereafter. She's saying that we are looking at it being a pretty long period of recovery, just based on the fact that we're already this low hormonally, and then we really want to optimize hormones for pregnancy, which is going to just help with the growth of the babe. So yeah, that's kind of where things are at, and I'm not really surprised. I know that my hormones have been wacky. I didn't have a period for a long time, so I'm not surprised by the results, and I'm also not surprised by her analysis of the results. I just wasn't sure if the IUD was influencing the hormones. She says no. So IUD isn't influencing the fact that none of my hormones are going off or working. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of the update. She's given me some stuff to support my adrenals, some stuff that is going to help with reducing stress. She also gave me some vitamin D, so I'm doing a high dose of that. My iron is really high, so she is suggesting that I go and donate some blood to get my ferritin levels down. So I'm going to go do that as well, as per her recommendation. She really does want me to prioritize my stress management, prioritize my mindfulness and meditation. So I'm going to continue with the weekly yoga classes. I might even increase it up to 2. What does this mean for me in terms of competing at Worlds? I want to have a conversation with Jamie about what that's going to look like. Yes, I really do want to do the show, but our family and the growth of our family is also something that I want him to be part of that decision-making process about. I want him to kind of get a clear picture of what's going on right now. But yeah, it's one of those things that, like, if I were to have to not compete because it was going to influence my health, right? Like, and influence my long-term health and my ability to raise a healthy child, that's just something I'm going to have to make the decision about. So I just wanted to share that with you guys honestly about where it's at, but I'm going to start the supplementation to help support the adrenal glands. We're going to retest all my levels in August and see what that looks like. Not making my decision right now about what I'm going to do moving forward. I'm just going to, I'm going to sit on it, I'm going to think on it, and have a conversation with Jamie about what he wants to do as the course of action. It's possible, like when I got my period back last time, that I got pregnant right away. We weren't even trying last time, and we got pregnant right away. So it's possible that we are able to get the hormone levels, like, back ASAP, but is it worth the risk? Do we know? I don't know. So anyways, I gotta chat with him about it and see if you guys have questions about any of this, about your hormones or about competing and the influence on the hormones. I really just want you to message me and let's chat, because I know there's a lot of women out there that suffer in silence with this or aren't sure what's going on, and they either don't have a period or they do have a period but it's not consistent, or maybe like you have no sex drive at all and you can't really explain why you don't have any like libido, but anyways, yeah, that is the update on what's going on, guys. I'm gonna head home. I got client calls and stuff for the rest of the day, but I don't know. Right now I don't have the answers. Yeah, we're gonna see. Give it some thought, see where we go from here. Hello guys, so I'm back again and just wanted to give you an update because I got a second opinion in relation to hormonal stuff. So I talked to Vince Pitstick, who is a functional medicine health coach. He's worked with Katie Ann Rutherford, who actually is currently working with Katie Ann Rutherford, who was one of the guests on my podcast. He's also working with Emily Duncan, which is somebody in the industry, also a competitor. So he works with a lot of competitors who have, or who are currently competing or coming off of competing, and his perspective in relation to all of it, yes, he identified that there's some dysfunction and that the supplementation that my new naturopath has me on is going to be incredibly helpful with it. But his professional recommendation at this point is actually to remove the MIRENA IUD, which he thinks is also impacting the hormones quite substantially. So yes, probably the hormones are being affected by the fact that I'm coming off a prep, but my thyroid is still functioning really well. So what he's suggesting is pull out the IUD. It'll take a couple of months for things to kind of get going with getting the cycle back again anyways, and then run some more blood work to see what's happening, because the IUD is going to reduce progesterone and it's probably impacting what the blood work is looking like at this time. So that is going to be the game plan. I've given it some thought and decided that, okay, let's remove the MIRENA and see where the blood work is as well. At this time, I'm going to continue slowly dieting-ish. Like, I'm still wanting to take it at a really slow rate anyways. So we are going to just keep on progressing forward, I think, without any like aggressive strategy. It's still a really long time until the show, but that's what I'm planning to do right now. All of the supplementation that my naturopath has me on does have me feeling really good, and I do feel as though the introduction of yoga and meditation on a more regular basis, and then also decreasing my exercise volume to 4 days a week, all in all, I do feel like I've made some pretty good changes in terms of the way that I'm feeling. Like coming off of prep and even the end of prep, you just feel like shit. Energy is like shit. Fatigue is sucky. Brain fog, like you just feel pretty blah and very depleted at the end of a prep. And even like coming out of it, I feel like all of those symptoms are no longer things that I'm experiencing. Pretty much feel back to normal, which is a great place to be. Am I afraid that I will get back to feeling that way again throughout this prep? If I decide to move forward with it and continue with the progress of it, I think it will be a little bit different with the supplementation that the naturopath has me on. These are all things that I wasn't taking. I wasn't taking anything to support my adrenal glands. I wasn't taking anything to balance the cortisol. My sleep was just all fucked. Wasn't taking the natural remedies and additional vitamins and minerals that may have been really depleted during prep. So I foresee that those will help and may help mitigate a lot of those symptoms, and hopefully the just optimize what's going on. As it stands right now, yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys, and I want a lot of the competitors who may be watching this, if this is something that you're going through or just something that you need a fellow girl to talk to about it, feel free to reach out to me. Honestly, guys, I think the worst thing is that we don't talk about it enough. We don't talk about the post-show period. We don't talk about maybe the more dark side of competing openly enough. I think a lot of people who compete almost suffer in silence, and they feel almost shameful, or I don't know. I think even slightly embarrassed, because I think when you're going through this, or having hormonal things, you're also experiencing really low libido, and your vaginal wall is very dry. So there's those sorts of symptoms that are happening within your body as well that people aren't talking about. And when it's happening and you're kind of maybe going through problems in a relationship because of those symptoms, or even just struggling to feel sexy. I just don't think that people talk about it enough. I think that like we really do suffer in silence. So this is something that I want to bring to the forefront and share with you guys and let you know, like maybe you've never heard of this, but it is, it's something that competitors go through and something that I do think needs to be brought to the forefront. So I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to chat with Vince today and have him on as a guest for the podcast. That's going to be coming down the pipeline in a future episode very soon. He shares some really great insights into what's called the OAT axis. So it's the ovarian, adrenal, thyroid axis, and he talks about all of the imbalances that can happen within that axis and just gives some really great do's and don'ts. He talks about ways that you can like optimize and minimize the damage that you have if you like. He obviously realizes, he works with a lot of competitors, like he knows you're not going to never compete. If it's a sport that you really love, like a lot of athletes have something that is associated with their sport that is maybe not the healthiest, but perhaps we need to find ways in which we can create the most optimal of environment to help with that. So that's really today's conversation. I'm not the expert in it. I just wanted to share my personal experience. I'm going to continue to try to find some more people to talk to about it and bring on to the podcast. In some ways, it's a little bit selfish because I'm trying to find out for myself and get some answers. But I know that there's also tons of value in sharing it with you guys because I know that there's other women out there that need to hear this and need to know that they're not alone. So I'm going to continue to hunt out to get more answers in relation to hormones. And if I decide I'm not going to do the show, well, either way, I'm going to share this with you guys. But if I decide not to do the show when things kind of change, I'm going to take you guys along the journey of like getting my menstrual cycle back, removing the IUD, trying to get pregnant. Well, I'm not going to take you to the bedroom, but I'm going to, share that journey with you guys because I also think there's women who don't have periods who want to know the steps of like, how do I take myself from where I am right now into getting my menstrual cycle back and having the support of somebody to walk you through it and give you some advice. So whether that's a now thing or a later, I'm definitely going to bring you guys along for that journey. And I want to just thank you for showing up for another episode. I absolutely love that I get to chat with you guys on a regular basis. You really are. You're almost like my therapist. You're always listening to me every week. It's so, I don't know, it's so good just to have you guys here and have you on my team and supportive through all of this. So thank you. Lots of love. And this week's episode is gonna wrap up with one more short announcement. So we are officially open for registration as of Monday, July 2nd, and I'm super, super excited, guys. I'm going to put the link in the show notes. Also going to put the link on the bottom of the screen right here so that you guys can get in on the first Team Ange Women's Training Camp. It's in GORRIE, Ontario, Canada, September 22nd to 23rd. And live on the website, you're going to get all the details. So this is going to explain what in the world this weekend is all about. It's going to explain why you need to be there. And yeah, just what it all entails. I break down essentially what's going to happen each of the days, what you can anticipate, what all the group sessions and workshops are going to be about, everything that's included, and yeah, all the goods. They're all here. Everything you need to know, how many hours it is for major cities, and special bonus for the first 20 people that sign up, and got all the frequently asked questions if you want to know, like, will there be gluten-free, dairy-free, keto, paleo, kosher food options available? What level of weightlifter is the training camp meant for? Are men welcome? Will you get one-on-one help, accommodations info, what to pack, all that jazz? It is all on the website. I'm super, super excited, and we are also offering early bird pricing. So early bird pricing is only from Monday to Friday. So you need to get in to save $200, guys. That is massive savings. And we are also offering a payment plan. So if you'd like to break it into smaller chunks, if that's more manageable for you, you can certainly take advantage of that as well. But the price is going to go all the way up to $699 Canadian after the early bird. So you do not want to miss the early bird pricing. Savings of $200 is really good. And that is in Canadian funds. So you US customers, you are lucky because it's going to be less than that in US. So link is on your screen, guys. Also in the show notes. I hope I get to see you at camp. It is going to be freaking amazing. And I am so pumped. Okay, we'll see you next week. Bye.